quick video to show y'all how I'm going to start dinner. It is 2:30. I'm going to put this on for 3 to 4 hours on high. It's supposed to go 7 to 8 low, so I'm just going to kind of speed up the process. We're going to make Cincinnati Chili. So the kids love chili and noodles is what we call it. It is Skyline Chili. I think it's based out of Ohio. Sorry, the kittens were growling for food. Based out of Ohio, and I found it when I lived up there for a summer and discovered that they have it at Kroger here in town, but the cans are really expensive and I need like 3 to 4 cans per meal. So that's like a $20 meal to eat at home, and so that's a little expensive. So I found this recipe for Cincinnati Chili. I am going to leave the beans out of it because there is a can of kidney beans that go in it. We've had it with the beans, so I'm going to try it without the beans this time. So it's super easy. I've got hamburger meat, 90% lean, so it's a 90-10 already going in. This is the 4-quart Rockcrok. This is the I think it's the bigger one. I think it's called the Dutch oven, but it's the 4-quart, 4.5 quart. This can go in the slow cooker base. So this can go on the stovetop, it can go in the microwave, it can go in the oven, it can go on the grill, but it can also go into the slow cooker base. The edge gets warm, and so there are little icons that remind you, hey, it's warm. Doesn't have a timer, but it does have a low, a high, and a warm setting. So because I'm going to be home and in and out today, I'm going to put it on high. I've got the hamburger meat already in there. It calls for 1 tablespoon of garlic. So I've got my garlic press here, and I've got my garlic whole clove in the sleeve already put in there, and I'm just going to squeeze it right on top like so. I'm going to grab a knife and just kind of slide off. I don't know if you can see very well, but after you squeeze it out, the garlic comes all the way out of the shell, so I'm going to just kind of swipe it off. And inside is going to be the garlic sleeve. So I'm just going to toss it in the trash, and I don't have to touch the garlic and get garlic on my fingers. So I'm just going to kind of repeat with these few pieces of garlic that I've pulled out for the meal, and squeeze it on in there, and repeat the process till I get. I didn't want to start any of this, so I wanted y'all to be able to see everything that goes on with starting the meal and all the different things I use to make the meal. These are little tiny ones that I'm throwing in right now. I would only recommend doing one at a time, just so that like the little tiny cloves, I still would only do one of them at a time, even though I think multiples, I just threw that one on the floor, even though multiples would fit, because you want to make sure that you're not losing any of the good garlic stuff. This is probably more than a tablespoon that I've just put in there. I have no idea. There it is. No idea if it's more than that or not, but I like garlic, so it can't hurt to have a little bit of extra. And I just kind of swipe off the end. Not quite sure if that's the way it's supposed to do, but that's the way I'm doing it today. And then that's done with all the garlic. I'm going to pop that out, and I'm just going to stick that in the sink. And then I don't have to touch any of the garlic and get that lovely smell on my hands. Next up is calls for tomato paste. And my sweet husband put all this stuff away and didn't give me my top blades. It calls for tomato sauce. I don't have another can of tomato sauce, so I'm going to make tomato sauce really fast. This is a can of stewed tomatoes. So this is the can opener. It sits on the top of the can. I'm going to lock it in place. No, sir. I'm going to open the can. Can you get off? Thanks. Kitten's climbing my leg. Thinks I'm opening something for him. Once you get to the end, you'll feel it go all the way around, and then you just back it off, and then use the lid lifter and take it off. And the best part is, I guess I could get in the camera, is there's no sharp edges. on here. So I'm gonna pour my can of stewed tomatoes in my manual food processor. And then I'm gonna put the top on the manual food processor. I'll move this back a little bit so you make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Lid goes on there. I'm gonna unlock it so the top pops up. And then I'm just going to process it. And I'm gonna make my own tomato sauce. I thought I had bought extra tomato sauce when I last bought stuff to make this, but apparently I didn't. 3 pieces. I'm choosing to make it in this over the blender or any other option, only because this is 3 pieces and really easy to clean. So I'm going to chop it up, make sure it's pretty good and chopped. And I think that's pretty good. I'm going to lift the blades out and put the blades back in just one more time. Mainly because I need to make sure they're really good and kind of broken down, just because, and they will get better broken down in the slow cooker. So this is a super easy way to make sauce when you don't have any. I made a mess on the counter, so we're gonna call that good. This gets put in the sink as a hand wash on the top part, and then the other 2 pieces can go in the dishwasher. So that calls for tomato juice or tomato sauce. I just made it a little bit chunkier. So I'm kind of making my own little recipe as I go along. The other night I showed y'all how to use the manual food processor and chop onions. And this recipe calls for a cup of frozen chopped onions. And so I already have the onions chopped and frozen. So I'm just gonna reach in and kind of dump some in that I think would be about a cup. I never really measure anything. Do y'all all measure? Y'all comment if you measure. I don't really measure. I just eyeball to what looks good. And those are pretty small enough that I think that's plenty. The kids will eat it if they have to. And then there's cumin that go in it. I really thought, oh, I might have one that's already open. I do. A little bit of cumin goes in it. I don't really measure, truthfully. I think it's like a teaspoon or something. It's definitely like a teaspoon of the cinnamon. There's not much cinnamon that goes in. You don't want to overpower it. That cinnamon can get overpowering. Onion powder, I think is like a tablespoon or something, even though we've already got onions in there. And then there's like a tablespoon or something of chili powder. I'm going to leave the tomato paste out for right now. That's to thicken it up later. And then it says, calls for salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to, these are not fancy salt and pepper shakers. They are just salt and pepper shakers. So it says salt and pepper to taste. The key about salt and peppering is if you can't see the seasoning, you can't taste the seasoning. And then, once we get that in there, it calls for 2.5 cups of water. I have seen where, I don't know where my measuring cup gets put. My children and my husband, they're awesome and they put things away for me, but then they don't tell me where they put it. And nothing ever gets put in the same spot. So I'm gonna have to go back to the old trusty, cheapy measuring cup for right now. So I'm only gonna put in 2 cups of water. If I need to put in more later, that extra ½ cup, I'll do so at the end. But having made this before, my understanding is the 2.5 cups makes it look really watery. So if I think I also need to make more of it because it just needs to have more overall, then I can certainly add all that in. So I'm gonna put my stuff in and mix it all up really good. And that is the the chili. It's gonna cook on high here for 4 hours. So around 6:30 dinner should be ready. I will make some noodles. I will boil some noodles to go along with it. But that is all that has to be done. So the lid goes on for the next 4 hours. It does smell kind of cinnamony. I might have put in a little too much. Oops. But the kids won't mind, and it'll still be yummy. So clean up after myself. That is the start of the Cincinnati Chili. When I get done, I will take a picture of it. Glad you guys got to watch this, and try it for yourself. If you need any of the pieces that I've shown, the garlic press, or the manual food processor, or the can opener, or the Rockcrok, I can help you get that all for free, which is the best way to get it, which is how I got mine. So highly recommend these pieces, mainly because of the versatility of the pieces. So I highly recommend that. But if you have any questions, let me know. Y'all enjoy dinner. Bye, y'all.